Happy February, ladies. I hope this video finds you well and that school is going fine. Talking about school, our topic of today is stay away from them men. Stay away from the boys. Just stay. We always hear that, oh, stay away from the men, stay away from the boys, and things like that, because we all know that opposite poles attract. So we need to have a certain kind of reserve and restraint when it comes to our relationships with the men. I smile because it reminds me, quick story, it reminds me of my experience when I was in university. Whether my undergrad or graduate school, I told myself, you are not going to give your phone number to any men. So I remember I only gave my phone number to one guy, but it was I was like, nothing's gonna happen. I do not have any reason to worry, any cause for alarm for him. But yeah, I never gave my phone number to any men. Now, when I was in undergrad, I had a group project and I was the leader, and there were 2 guys in the group and 3 women. And one of the guys says, since you're the leader, can I have your phone number so I can call you and we can discuss about the projects if I have any questions? And I remember I told him, I was like, oh no, I can't give you my phone number because I don't give my phone number to men. And I was like, I was very shocked. I was like, I've never heard that before. Why? Like, this is about school project. Why would you? And I was like, no, I can't give my phone number, but you can email me. And I was like, but it's all the same thing. Like, if I need an urgent, reply. And I told him, well, you can contact that girl who is in the group and she can call me and I can give her the reply, then she can call you. But the guy was just like, I cannot believe this girl. So, but I'm not saying that this is the way that you should behave, and I definitely, now that I look back, I don't think that that was the right approach, but it was just my way of putting limits in my relationships with men. But why should we talk about our relationships vis-a-vis men? Is because, like I said, opposite poles attract. It's not like when you have a male friend or a male classmate that, oh my goodness, you're gonna get pregnant, you're gonna lose your purity or something. But the most important thing is not to give the devil a foothold. That's the most important thing. That sometimes we think we are smarter than the devil, like, oh, I got this, I have this friendship with this guy and it's good, it's fine, it's just, I can handle it. But we do not know that sometimes the devil can outsmart us. The devil can use that opportunity for whatever. I'm not saying we're gonna get pregnant or something, but the devil can use that opportunity for his own gain. So we need to be very, very careful when it comes to our relationships with the men. So I'm going to talk about how to act around men and why it is important to do so. So how should our relationship be with the men? If we can take a verse in 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 2. If we look at the first verse of chapter 5, Paul is instructing Timothy in his relationship, in how he can deal with the people, different people, categories of people in his church. He talks about the older men, he talks about the younger men, and in verse 2, Paul says this: treat the younger women as sisters in all purity. And if we put that in our own condition, is treat the young men in all purity. Treat them as brothers. Not that we should not have male friends. That's totally impossible. We can have male friends, but we treat those male friends as brothers. Not like, oh, I'm looking at him with lustful eyes or anything. No, but treat them as brothers. And that's my own way that I deal with my male friends. I look at my male friends either as my elder brothers or my little brothers, because that's how I want to relate to them. So I'm always reminded, there's a limit to everything. I need to treat them in all purity. I don't need to have, overthink our relationship, but I say to myself, hey, he's my brother, he's my elder brother, he's my younger brother. And that's, I tell them sometimes, I'm like, oh, you're my brother. I make sure that I'm always constantly reminded of the kind of relationship that we have. And the reason why this is important is because sometimes we tend to look at men with lustful eyes. A verse that I want to share before that is Job chapter 31 verse 1. Job says, I made a covenant with my eyes not to look with lust at a young woman. And in our situation is to make a covenant, to discipline our eyes to look at men with not to look at men with lustful eyes. Most of the time we see that in movies. Let's admit it, ladies, we've seen it in many movies where there's a group of girls that see a tall, dark, handsome man walk by and they're just like, and they look with lustful eyes. They're like, oh my goodness, I wish he could be the one. I wish that this is my boyfriend. I wish that this. And then the next thing you know, a girl walks right next to him and holds his hand, and you're like, oh, yes, he already has a girlfriend, or he's married or something. And then it's kind of shameful because you're thinking like, oh, I had this, lustful thoughts about this guy, but hey, he's already, taken. But as that's good for the movies, by the way. It's good for the movies. They want to do their romance and everything. But as children of God, as daughters of the Most High, we need to be pure in our thoughts, in our eyes, to look at the males, the men, our male friends, with purity. Not, I'm thinking outside the box. I'm trying to see if it's marriage potential. Not at all. But to just look at them, to discipline our eyes in that way, so we can have a proper relationship. When I was thinking also about this episode and what I would share, I found this verse in Proverbs chapter 27, verse 12. It says, "The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it." The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. Like I mentioned earlier, we can say to ourselves, oh, nothing is going to happen. I've had male friends for as long as I can remember. Nothing ever happened. There was never any emotional attachment. Never ever. We've been close. Nothing happened. But the prudent sees danger and hides himself. Now, let me take an example before I explain what this verse means. When it's cold, for example, outside, when it is raining and there's a cold weather, it's snowing or stuff like that, why do we dress warmly before we step outside? It's because we know that this cold weather can get me sick. There is the danger, there's that possibility that if I just walk out with my flip-flops or my just t-shirts, I can get sick because it's so cold outside. So in order to protect ourselves, we wear warm, we dress warmly just to protect ourselves so that we don't get sick. Now apply that to our relationship with men. We know that men and women, there is that possibility, there is that danger that opposite poles attract. There is the danger. So according to Proverbs chapter 27 verse 12, the prudent sees danger and hides himself. So if we want to be prudent, if we want to be cautious, knowing that male and female relationship can lead to that closeness, then we need to be prudent and hide ourselves and take our measures, take our limits, draw the line. But it says here, the one who doesn't care about the danger, it says the simple go on. So the simple ignores totally the danger and says, oh, I don't have to care about that. I don't have to, draw any line in my male, with my male friends. Then it says the simple go on and suffer for it. I'm telling you, ladies, the devil is smarter than us. Something that we see has no potential danger at all, the devil can utilize that either now or in the future against us. So better just right now not give the devil a foothold. Friendships with men develop very, very quickly. Before you know it, it's on. It is on, and it goes just down a hill. It just like poof, just like gravity. It just goes really fast. Before we know it, there's that attachment. And the reason why we should be cautious, the reason why we should be very prudent, like that verse said in Proverbs, in the Proverbs chapter 27, is because I would say, first of all, because we need not to awaken love before it is time. Let's save our love, let's save our emotional attachment for our husband only. It's not meant for any friend, any classmate that we see, because sometimes we, because we spend so much time with the person, whether on phone, texting, and in physical presence, there could be that love that's developing. Before you know it, you feel like, oh, this guy, you know, maybe he's the one, maybe he should be my husband, maybe he should be my, there is that emotional attachment that comes right away. And it's that verse that's often repeated in Songs of Song that says, do not awaken love before it's time. Our love, our attachment is meant for our husband alone. I would say another reason why we should be cautious is, again, talking about the emotional attachment. Sometimes we get disappointed or betrayed because you spend so much time with the person that you feel like, oh, you know, he's the one, and then later you find out the guy has, you know, married someone else, and you feel, and your heart pinches, and you're like, I thought he was gonna marry me, or I thought he was gonna be with me. Or you see him with other women and you start getting a little bit jealous, even though you don't want to admit it, but you start getting a little bit jealous, disappointed, and you're like, oh, I really wanted. No, ladies, let's not even go there at all. Another reason I want to mention is, we are wives in training. For those of us who are called for marriage, we are wives in training. And if we cannot start putting limits now with men, how is that going to be when we get married? I mean, even if our husband is very tolerating and he can accept, you know, us, you know, talking to men and just mingling with men and having, you know, male best friends, but later on, the devil is very smart. Later on, who knows if the devil will use that against us. It's better for our husband to know that we have self-control when it comes to our relationships with other men. It's better for our husbands to know that, hey, I trust my wife because I know she can never do that, because this is the way that she mingles with men and she, you know, reacts towards men. But if we're really loose and just go about talking here, talking there, then you know what I mean, ladies, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. And I would say that, and I will say it again, let's not give the devil an occasion to accuse us and to trap us. Finally, and eventually, that's what we do not want to do, is have a loss of our sexual purity, because when there is that closeness, too much closeness with a guy, before you know it, it's gone. It's gone. The sexual purity is gone. And I remember when I was in high school, there was, in my small group, a girl shared that with us, and she warned us, and she said, you know what, I never knew that the closeness I had with this guy would end up where it ended, because I always thought that, you know, we were just, you know, talking and, you know, chatting, we were just best friends and everything. Before you know it, it happened, and there's no way you can go back. There's no way you can erase that from your past. I want to give out some tips on how to act with men. I want to give you those tips. It's just to give you an idea of how you should direct your relationship with the men. Like I always say, I believe if you want to live for the Lord, if you want to honor the Lord and please the Lord, let your life be filled with the Holy Spirit. Fill your life with the Holy Spirit. Stay close to God, and He will direct your steps. I want to say it again, and that is the first and foremost, just important we should have limits with our relationship with men. We should draw the line. That's just it. That's, I think, the general thing we should know. Have a limit when it comes to our relationship with men. Just, it's not the same with our girls, you know, with our girlfriends. We can just, you know, be all out and do whatever. But with the men, that should come first. With the men, we should set a limit. Never be too personal and curious when talking with a man. Are you emotionally stable? Are you romantic? So what kind of, you know, wife do you want to have in the future? How many kids do you want to have? So tell me, like, what's your girlfriend, what's her name? Like, we should keep our talks with men really basic or just on the surface. Something I usually do when I was in school is I would either, you know, when I'm talking with the guys, I would either talk about something just about school, for example. We could talk about projects, or sometimes I like to know about people's background, like their country, where they're from, and the culture that's in, you know, the country, and we can talk about that. We can talk about politics, but do not get personal with the guy. Do not get curious and trying to know the teeny weeny bits about his life, about his personalities, and let's not even go there, ladies. Be careful about your gifts, invitation, and outing with men. Or I was thinking about buying you a t-shirt. Do you want to go to the mall next Saturday? We can go to the mall together. No one-on-one with men. No going to the mall one-on-one, or yeah, let's go to the restaurant, let's have lunch together, let's sit to a one-on-one. Ladies, do not even go that route. Avoid approaching men for personal advice or spiritual matters. If you need to seek advice from a spiritual mature a spiritual mature woman, unless it's family members, it's your dad or your blood brother, then yeah, you can open yourself in that matter. But for the people outside, do not give that opportunity or that opening door for them to get to know what's inside of you. The long phone conversation and the regular texting. Did you see that movie? Oh, I watched that movie too. Yeah, it was so nice. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I felt like I really wanted to do something. Yeah, that day. You know, I didn't really have much money on me, and yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's the male best friends. I've heard of ladies who say, oh, my best friend is a guy. Ladies, let's be careful. The male best friends, we can have female best friend, yeah, but the male best friend, again, I'm not saying no, your dad can be your best friend, your brother can be your best friend, but anybody outside of the home, the house, the male best friend, even if you say, oh, I've had this, best friend, this guy has been my best friend for years, he's my childhood friend, nothing ever happened, I trust him, he trusts me, we respect each other, we have mutual. Ladies, I'm just saying from what I've seen, from what I've heard, and from what I know. In conclusion, I want to mention again that friendship with men develop very, very quickly. So as a result, we need to be careful. And I want to go back again to that proverb chapter 27 that says, the prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. If we want to be prudent, if we want to be cautious, now is the time to make those wise decisions and not say, oh, you know what, I won't take that into consideration, and then later on suffer for it. For you as SSU, for you as student, it's better to focus in school right now. You are a student, focus in school, do well, seek to succeed in school, and do not get yourself, meddled in those worldly affairs, but keep yourself pure for the Lord. Set your limits, glorify the Lord in all you do. So that's it for today. Take care, ladies, and always stay blessed. Bye.